ratio, like the 0 here. 0 is energy of completion, but it also signifies source. I had a reading a couple days ago, and the message was to look for zeros, like follow the zeros, like that's your path to God, to abundance, to source, to an abundant source, Spirit said, and the sun's just shining on me there, so that's a message from God. So this energy that's dying is making its way out of you right now. Okay? There's something significant in the astrological events occurring right now, but I'm not 100% sure which one they're referring to. So if you have one that you've been curious about, I'm guessing that's it. The moon cycle is also significant right now. So I had a message a couple days ago about the underside of the moon. Like, you're meant to move somewhere. Like, and what I'm getting right now is like maybe not far. Like maybe you just had to like go on a work holiday or like a work something, and it's like not even that far, much different. Like maybe it's only like an hour from where you usually are. Something about that energy zone helped you to get to this space to help this energy die. So this is going to look messy, and the energy that is in it is very nervous system. It's very visceral. So this is purging out of your nervous system currently, and it's going to be a little bit messy. Okay? It might be a little bit messy is what I'm hearing. It might be a little bit messy if you're not finding the outside thread, is what I heard. So this is kind of what's bringing up this world card. Yeah, so like all the major arcana are coming through with this card. Like, and this is like the final one. So it's like you went through the stages of the arcana, major arcana, and now you're getting to the end. So if you can find the outside layer, this is the message, this is the advice. If you can get to the outside layer of this energy that's dying, that's purging, and I think you know maybe that is purging. I'm not sure that you know it's purging. So if you're having, wow. Okay, holy. Wow. This wants to flip. So this is on its way to flipping. So the 6 of Wands and the Temperance sideways here. So Temperance is in balance. This is definitely like a twin flame situation. Holy crap. Okay, this is, and it's going back around here. So this is a twin flame message. This is a relationship message. Yes, okay, duh. So this energy is in the relationship. There's something significant dying in your twin flame relationship. I almost want to start this reading over. Just start with that. I don't know. There's something in there that you need to hear. So I'm just going to show the unraveling, because that might help you with the unraveling that you're going through. Okay, so energetically, from an energetic 3D perspective, I would say that the Twin Flame Collective has been healing codependency, okay? So codependency is very, very prevalent in what we call the Twin Flame energetic connection. It is simultaneous with the true Twin Flame connection, but it is rooted also in codependency. So you have to sift through the cords of codependency to find the true connection. But the energetic bond that you feel that kind of keeps you stuck, even maybe in what would be called a trauma bond, is the knowing that there's something underneath it, okay? And this is like so like dancing with like danger or fire or whatever the saying is, because obviously there's so much political correctness, but if like you watch visceral energy in our energy lines that can be felt when it moves. So like you'll feel it as popping. Like as you tune into this energy, it will shift. Like you will see it move inside your body. You will see it as twitching, or you will feel your stomach like make a noise and shift energy, or your eye will twitch, or your arm will twitch, or you'll feel this jolt of energy. That's you are shifting energy consciously by tuning into it, okay? And you'll start to see that is what I'm getting. Whew, yeah, that's it. That is the message there. Wow. Yes. The energy that just came through from that is next level. And I feel it coming from you, so that is like you just like see if you can just see your energy right now. See how it is light. You know, it's so light, but feel how there's an essence of water in it. See how it feels light and almost cold. Wow, there's a horned owl. Oh my gosh. I think it was a great horned owl. Like, good grief. The amount of eagles I've been seeing lately, but that great horned owl, that is a huge lesson. Someone, or just check is the pinpoint of what we're healing, essentially. Because when something's out of balance in the feminine, the masculine will naturally have to fill the gap, and vice versa. It creates this codependent dynamic. It might be called a soulmate. Soulmates are when one person lacks, another person matches, so they kind of complete each other. But if you're in a twin flame relationship, it's codependent, okay? Because it's going to hinder your growth. It's not going to make you better. Their flaws do not help your, they do not match each other in a way that's harmonious, like a soulmate. In a twin flame relationship, somebody's negative qualities naturally amplify the other person's negative qualities. Okay, so what Spirit just said, like in math, 2 negatives make a positive, and that's what the beauty of a twin flame relationship is. Like a soulmate relationship is 2 positive make a positive, and twin flame is 2 negatives make a positive, and a karmic is a negative and a positive make a negative. Okay? If you're watching, you're in a twin flame relationship, I do feel, and your twin flame brings out the worst in you. Okay, and that's a reason. There's a reason. If it's in there, it's coming out, and they're going to show you. And the complexity of your twin flame relationship is dependent on how out of balance you personally are. So when you start to focus on yourself, the twin flame relationship naturally occurs. But this is where everybody gets stuck. They think that by fixing themselves, So this is your masculine manifestation of the other thing what we were talking about. And every single person needs to balance both of these energies within themselves before they will manifest in the physical. So you've had this breakthrough energy through the righteousness, which made you realize that maybe you were putting your needs above perhaps your partner's in a relationship or somewhere else. That killed this energy, this emotional energy that caused you to allow your heart to be more seen, and this is helping the relationship, which allowed him to surrender his pride, which now is like coming back to you and being like, okay, now what are you going to do? Are you going to surrender your pride as well and show that you are scared and you have fear and you are messy and you maybe aren't perfect, and you start to show that level of messy vulnerability? That's the beauty, okay? Because that's the energy that's coming through with the world. That's the energy. It's like you're dropping the act. You're starting to just show up as you, as your beautiful, beautiful self. This is it. This is the message. With your inner child, your child self and adult self, online and present. That's where the heart belongs. That's where the heart exists. When your inner child, your lower self, is fully online in your body, your nervous system, the visceral expression of feeling is there, present. You're not hiding anything. You're not watering down anything. You're not amplifying anything. You're just being there as you are in your feelings. Another big hug. And that vulnerability, it shatters walls that people put up. Like your masculine cannot hold anything to that. It will shatter their heart wall in an instant when they see that level of vulnerability on you. It will push them into their masculine to nurture and care for you. Nurture and care. So everyone's going to amplify nurture. Masculine is also a nurture. While also being completely online as your adult self, your higher self, your feminine energy. Being capable of having compassion and understanding. Being able to see when you're being self-centered and putting your needs above theirs. Being able to see when you're not seeing things from their perspective and you're putting all the responsibility on them. Okay? It's a huge, huge energy shift here. Oh, I really hope this gets to who it is meant for. I do feel it will. I think it might be in a while from now, but regardless. Thank you for watching, regardless. Future, in the future. Wow, okay, so the energy's laid out. We just laid it all out here. And the star is coming through, and it's just like wham, wham, wham. Wow, and then Temperance just showed herself upright. Divine union, divine union. Divine union within yourself, divine union within your cells. Quantumly, that's where we're getting. Quantum level heals the nervous system. That's when we start to feel energy move inside of us viscerally, physically. We're going to feel pain. We're going to feel stress points. We're going to feel that energy shift, okay? It's going to feel like you're going to feel it physically. I'm not a doctor. Wow. be able to be enlightened. To me, they are just suppressing their lower self and abandoning the inner child and just being the higher self. Okay, so they're just pushing down masculine energy and then just choosing feminine, which in itself mirrors back to me as masculine ego. So that's all I see, and just adds to the complexity of the things that we're trying to solve here, and that's spiritual ego. The true self is not enlightened, it is embodied. Okay, you become enlightened when you are embodied. You become embodied when you are present with the higher and lower realms. With the messy part of yourself that makes you human, but it is inherently, innately authentic to you. I stuttered there because I feel like this pushback, I guess, from somebody with what I said there. So if that did trigger you, if you've been on a path to enlightenment and then maybe like what I said is like, well, no, that's not true. I don't want to push my opinion on you, but if it did make you feel a certain way, it's worth looking into, is all that I'll say. There's this completion energy here that is, I mean, it's a strange place to end the reading, but I feel like it's where I will. So, wow. Okay, well, thank you so much for helping me co-create this through giving me access to your energy by watching and being present here. If you could like the video or share it or subscribe, that would mean a lot, and it also helps you to help me co-create. All right, thank you so much for watching. Bye.